So what happened? Well, it was September 19th, 2010. As well, I was on deployment in Afghanistan with the U.S. Army. It was a typical night for the assault force that I was a part of. We woke up, basically late in the evening when most others were bedding down for the night, and our intelligence had gathered the location of a high-value target, and it was our job to go out there and get this individual utilizing any means necessary. So that particular night, as we headed out into the dark, I remember the mission, as we were flying into the landing zone, we came under pretty heavy fire from the ground. Several RPGs went whizzing by our helicopter, and even in the face of direct gunfire, our brave pilots put those birds right on the ground so that the rest of us could shuttle off and go do the work that we do. My job is EOD, or Explosive Ordnance Disposal. That's being a bomb tech, and so my job was essentially to be the resident expert on all things explosives on the ground that night. And as we were moving to the target or the compound that our target was in, we came to a place that I told my guys that, listen, if I was a bomber, this area is probably where I would place an improvised explosive device, and so to let me check things out. So several snipers, they were behind me and they were providing overwatch for me, and I went through all the methods that I would use to search for bombs and things like that. I looked for any signs of disturbed earth, and I looked for wires and batteries and really anything that might be out of place, and I didn't find or see anything. Eventually I got down on my hands and knees and I pulled a little metal detector out of my pocket, and I started gently prodding the earth in front of me, looking for anything that might be a pressure plate or something with a metallic signature, and I really found and saw nothing. So I stood up and I gave the snipers that were behind me the signal that I was going to forge ahead. And as I did that, I took about 1 or 2 steps beyond the area that I had searched, and I found that device that I suspected was there. It happened in a flash. I remember this blinding flash, and it felt like an uppercut from some heavyweight boxer just landed squarely on my chin and landed me on my back. And I remember laying there, and as I'm laying there on my back, I could hear my men. They were talking through the earpiece, saying that EOD had been hit. That was me, and I can remember pretty much simultaneously I was looking at my hand and my fingers, and all of my fingers were broken, and they were pointing in directions fingers weren't supposed to point in, and the underside of my forearm was split in two, basically barely hanging on, and I knew immediately that there was some reason that I couldn't stand up. And pretty much right at that time, my men got to me, and they were able to start providing the life-saving aid that they used to save my life. They applied tourniquets on what was left of my mangled legs and my mangled arm to stop the hemorrhaging, and basically prepared me, got me onto a stretcher in advance of being transported back to the helicopters, which we had just left. And pretty much the last thing I remember from that night, aside from my men transporting me back to the helicopters, was as I lay there on the floor of that helicopter, my men giving me one final salute and telling me that I would be okay. And those guys, when they said that, they were completely right. I would be okay, but being all right and being okay today, it's not something that was just chance or luck or indifference. It's not something that just happened. It happened through conscious efforts from people all around our country. I've witnessed, literally since the moment I woke up in Walter Reed, I've witnessed the absolute best from one side of our country to the other. Women that like to quilt, that literally sew quilts like this that they provide to every service member coming through Walter Reed. People that are interested in scuba diving, getting guys out there scuba diving. People that are interested in hunting or skydiving or fly fishing or whatever it may be. They're trying to get wounded warriors out there to say, look, it doesn't matter that you're injured. You can still get out there and do whatever it is that you want to do. You can return to this normal routine of life. You just have to find your own way to do it. And it's in that same effort that the Eagles Up Combat Heroes bike build was founded. It's this just another way of warriors helping warriors. It's warriors of generations past, our World War II, our Korea, our Vietnam, our Panama, our Grenada, our Somalia, Kosovo, Gulf War era veterans, all getting out there and trying to say, listen, we're really into biking and motorcycles, and we want to find a way to help those veterans coming home that are into that same thing find their path to a normal routine of life through getting back out there and getting on motorcycles, getting back out there and getting on the open road, having that time of solitude where it's just you and your bike, and you're out there and you have your own thoughts. Or maybe it's that time that you get to spend with your significant other where it's just you and maybe my wife holding on tight. But whatever it may be, it's this just another outlet to help us get back to whatever it is that we need to call life normal. And it's been amazing that there's programs out there that help us try to move forward with life and get back to these places that we need to be. How do I move forward now? Generally, I have to say that I'm very blessed in the area that I live in here in South Florida, that my community has some great programs that actually get out there and help to provide opportunities for kids with both physical and mental disabilities to get out there and do athletic sports. A program that I like to work with is called Parkland Buddy Sports, where guys get out there and help these kids to play soccer or basketball or whatever else they may want to do. There's two outstanding honor flight programs in my area that I love to work with. That this is where we take the opportunity to fly our World War II veterans and our Korean War era veterans up to their memorials in Washington D.C. and spend a day with them, just letting them get back there and have memories and have fellowship with these men and women that served alongside them during that period of time, and just hopefully find peace and find closure and find anything that can help make them happy in that time. There's so many wonderful things out there going on, helping to get people to find these normal routines of life. I can't say enough good things about it. Every injury is different. Some people's injuries you can see, and some people's injuries you can't see. But no matter whether you can see or not see them, guys need to find a way to recover and ways to get back up and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And we're blessed that we live in this country that there's so many people willing to go and say, I'm going to find a way to do that, and find a way that I have a sport or a hobby or an interest or something that I'm good at, and I'm going to find a way to apply that to the veterans coming home. And that's where really, the Eagles Up Combat Hero Bike Build, that's what they're trying to do. And I can't thank you guys enough. I couldn't be more honored that you guys have been willing to take on me and say, hey, we're gonna try to find a way to help you get back to that normal routine of life. So thank you guys. I couldn't thank you more.